Today on Commander Replay, find out how many demons it takes to get to the Tootsie Center of a Tootsie Pop. And by Tootsie Pop, I mean ignite your Planeswalker spark. 4? It's just 4? Next on Commander Replay.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Demon Lord Belzenlok, Demon Contract Tribal. Take a look at our opening hand. Not bad. Actually pretty good. I like our opening hand a lot, especially since we have Liliana's Contract already in our hand, which is our main combo piece in this deck. So that's extremely lucky, so we'll just go ahead and keep this. We have plenty of mana. We should be able to lean on Belzenlok for some card draw. Haven't actually played this card yet, so I'm curious to see about that ETB ability and how much that's gonna do. Hopefully it doesn't kill us. That's a thing that could happen. So we're playing Demon Lord Belzenlok, and we'll be facing off today against Zada Hedron Grinder, Ulasht the Hate Seed, and Oona Queen of the Fae. And so Demon Lord Belzenlok is 4 black for a 6/6 flying trample. When it enters the battlefield, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card, then put that card into your hand. If the card's converted mana cost is 4 or greater, repeat this process. Then, Demon Lord Belzenlok deals 1 damage to you for each card put into your hand this way. So, it should be pretty interesting. I'm actually a little bit worried that we don't have enough low-casted things in our deck, that we may draw too much with that. So, we'll need to be careful. Anyway, that brings it to our turn 1. We draw a Mind Stone. We will lay down a swamp and lay down this expedition map. Actually, not exactly sure what I want to go for on the expedition map yet. We have Deserted Temple, which does a whole lot of nothing without Cabal Coffers. Cabal Coffers is awesome, but Cabal Coffers does nothing in our current hand without Urborg. So, Urborg is probably the best bet, but also we could go for a fetch land if we want to get our Crucible of Worlds online and make sure that we don't miss any land drops. So we'll see what happens. Oona, Queen of the Fae, and Zada are both token-based decks, which will be really good to play into our Demon of Dark schemes. You have to be careful with Zada, though, because Zada can just kind of explode out of nowhere and win the game from a position where you think they weren't really able to do much. I've seen it happen a couple times, so we need to be careful. Stalking Drone coming down for the Ulasht, and a Mind Crank. Fun card. So Oona possibly on the mill plan. Toxic Deluge, that's helpful. Keep things from getting a little too aggro-y. Right here, let's lay down the Homeward Path. And I think I'm just going to play the Mind Stone since I don't know which land I want to go for yet on the expedition map. Hopefully we can draw into one of the ones that we need, and that'll eliminate one of the choices that we have to make. In our current situation, Urborg is currently the better call because we have a lot of colorless mana in our hand. So Zada, by the way, is 3 in a red for a 3/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Zada, copy that spell for each other creature you control that spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. So basically they're going to use things that target Zada, and then that spell will get copied for each creature they control, and when they start doing things like drawing cards and or playing pump effects, they all get huge. I've seen this deck draw like 10 or 15 cards at a time based on using that copy ability and playing anything that has draw a card attached to it, so... something we'll need to watch out for, and they get started with a Mog War Marshal and a Goblin token. New Horizons. Enchant Land. Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter. Target creature you control. Enchanted land has add 2 mana of any one color. Yeah, not bad. Does run the risk of getting blown up by enchantment hate, though. And the Stalking Drone will get a little bit bigger. I guess they probably care about the +1/+1 half of that card. That would make sense. Ulasht can also make tokens, which will also play into our Demon of Dark schemes. Actually, so we don't need to search for a fetch. Because of the Mind Crank, we will undoubtedly lose life at some point, which should put some lands into our graveyard for the Crucible of Worlds. Brings it back to our turn. We draw a Swamp. We're going to play the Deserted Temple. We have 4 mana currently. We will end step, grab Urborg, and then I guess we don't want to run the Liliana's Contract down there yet. Oh, we draw 4 cards when we play that, though. Red, not going to have enchantment removal. Ulasht is the only one that's really going to have any likely enchantment removal. Oona's probably not going to have anything. So both Zada and Oona are going to be relying on things like Ugin, Oblivion Stone, All is Dust. But people just aren't running those cards nearly as much as they should be. So I think if we slam the Liliana's Contract, I don't think either of those 2 opponents are really going to have much to say about it. So opponent's going to pay for the Mog War Marshal on the Echo cost. The only reason I haven't cracked the expedition map yet is on the off chance of a wheel effect. There is a blue player, and if Oona's looking to mill, something like Windfall isn't out of the question. Zada and Ulasht obviously have the red wheel effects at their disposal, so just want to wait to the last possible second before committing on our expedition map. So the Zada opponent has disconnected. That makes me super sad. So Classic Commander Replay, down to a 3-player game, and it's only turn 4. Makes me super frustrated because we have the card we really want in our hand. and we don't have to go dig for it. Goblin Instigator coming down for the Ulasht opponent. So we're going to crack the expedition map, get our Urborg, smooth out our color situation a little bit, draw into a swamp, play the Urborg. So we've got 5 mana. We could go for the Liliana's contract, but I mean, once we do that, opponents are going to know what we're up to, and 7-card hand and a 4-card hand, that seems like a lot of chances to have removal, so not in love with that. I guess we just go for the Crucible of Worlds right here. Opponents don't really have blazing fast starts, so I feel okay not committing anything to the board just yet. So Ulasht going to send Stalking Drone into the Oona opponent. So opponent's going to lay down a Doomblade on the Stalking Drone. Stalking Drone goes down. Opponent's going to use the Thespian stage to copy Dimir Aqueduct. Seems pretty good. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Liliana of the Dark Realms. We're on 6 mana this turn, so play a Swamp. I think we just try our commander right here, honestly. I'm very curious to see how this ability plays. I haven't had a chance to resolve this yet, so let's just get it into play and see what happens. Also, it's a 6/6 flying trample, so ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm a frickin' demon. Alright, let's see how many cards we draw. So we draw 1 card. We do not repeat the process. We Mind Crank our Dark Petition, which I don't love. I guess we just drew Vampiric Tutor, so maybe we don't need the Dark Petition. Would have preferred to have dumped the land in the graveyard for our Crucible of Worlds. So Demon Lord Belzenlok right there. A 6 mana, draw 1. You get a big flying creature out of the deal, but that was not the most impressive use of that ability. However, I guess if you have things like Sensei's Divining Top, or Vampiric Tutor, or even Scroll Rack, you can control the top of your deck. That would give you some control over about how many cards you're going to draw. Not complete control, but it would give you at least an idea of what's coming, and you could rearrange things in the way that make the most sense for your current position. A bunch of goblins coming down for the Ulasht opponent. So they play Goblin War Chief, Goblin Fire Slinger, and they still got their token out there, so yeah. Toxic Deluge starting to look pretty good. Demon of Dark Schemes also starting to look pretty good. Oona, Queen of the Fae coming down. Yep, not so much spot removal in this deck. Brings it back to our turn. We draw another Swamp. A fetch land would be nice, or our Cabal Coffers. Play a Swamp. Can we defend this Liliana if we play it? Do we play the Demon of Dark Schemes yet? These are all questions. So, Demon of Dark Schemes will take down all the 1/1s that Oona can generate. I'm just going to lay down the Liliana. If opponents want to mess around trying to deal with our Liliana, that's fine. We could actually shoot the Oona right here, but I don't know. We would lose Liliana in the process. We'll go with the plus for now, just grab a Swamp, and if opponents want to try to use a lot of resources to take down Liliana, that's fine. No attacks for now. We're going to stay on defense with our Demon. So we'll pass the turn like that. Birthing Hulk coming down for our opponent. 5/4 Devoid. Enters the battlefield, create 2 Eldrazi Scions. And you can pay 1 and a colorless only mana to regenerate the Birthing Hulk. So Oona's going to target us for X2 with the activated ability. For those that don't know, by the way, Oona is 3 and 3 black-blue hybrid for a 5/5 flying. Pay X and blue-black hybrid. Choose a color. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library. For each card of the chosen color exiled this way, create a 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue token. So let's see what opponent exiles I get. Cabal Stronghold was on top of our deck. That's frustrating. One thing that's annoying, actually, if we go for Vampiric Tutor, Oona can use the activated ability to exile whatever we put on top. So we might need to wait a little while on that. There's another Swamp. Don't need any more Swamps. So the question is, does Oona have a counterspell or not? If they do, attacking seems real bad. Okay. Yeah, so based on Oona possibly having a counterspell, I am going to play the Toxic Deluge, but not attack first. Usually I attack before a board wipe, but I'm not sure that this is actually going to resolve. Actually, do we want Demon Lord Belzenlok to stay alive or die? If it dies, then we can recast it and draw more cards, which seems pretty good. I think I'm actually going to kill it for the card draw, like we just mentioned. Mind Crank's going to trigger one time. Fetch land? Any land? Spell Crumble. Okay. So, good thing we did not attack. This spell will get put onto the bottom of our library, so still available to us, sort of. And we will mill 6 from the Mind Crank ability. What do we get? Man of All, Gauntlet of Power, Tombstalker, Damnation. There's a Swamp. Finally got something. Do we shoot Oona? I mean, the Ulasht opponent can go super wide now. We have 3 turns worth of mana. Yeah, I think we shoot Oona. I don't know how much longer we can protect the Liliana, and we might as well get some value out of it. Opponent's going to Cyclonic Rift our Liliana. That just doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. Nope. Shoot the Oona down and recast Liliana. And we'll grab another Swamp. And pass the turn like that. No attacks from the Ulasht opponent. I'd be attacking, personally. They said they were new to Magic Online in one of the chats while we were waiting for the player to disconnect. Halimar Depth's coming down for the Oona opponent. Ooh, Diluvian Primordial, you say. There's a Damnation in our graveyard, and that's about all they'll get. Well, there's also a Dark Petition. So Damnation or Dark Petition, they're choosing. Let's see if they can actually click and execute this properly. Diluvian Primordial is a very strange card to actually execute the clicking properly, and many people mess it up. Goes for the Dark Petition. That's interesting. Oh, they have Mindcrank out. There's a combo with Mindcrank. Opponent played their Cyclonic Rift to get the mana back on Dark Petition. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Here comes the combo. Man, if it's an artifact, we have literally no way to get rid of it. If it's something colored, we can get Ugin with the Vampiric Tutor. There's a Goblin Fireslinger in play, which means that if opponent plays the other half of that combo, they can just activate that Fireslinger and kill us. So we need to do stuff this turn. We can't sit back idly anymore. Play the Vampiric Tutor. I'm just not really seeing any things that deal with the combo. I'm going to go with Cabal Coffers right here. Oh, hey. Actually, that's okay. So we're going to get milled with the Vampiric Tutor because of the damage on the Mindcrank, but because it's a Cabal Coffers, we can just play it from our... That is fine. That's a Vidalcan Orrery. That is huge, actually. Play the Cabal Coffers. Play the Orrery. Just keep plussing Liliana. They have to deal with it. Drawing a lot of lands this game. It's turn 9. We haven't missed a land drop, and we have 4 more lands in our hand and 1 more in our graveyard. What's that, like 15 lands or something like that? Goblin Moor Driver coming down. Still no attacks from the Ulasht. That's not a good strategy for winning. If you're playing an aggressive deck, you should be attacking. Opponent's gonna Mind Grind. Ooh. Each opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal X land cards. Then put all the cards revealed this way into the graveyard. X can't be 0. Alright, let's see what happens. Cards left in library. We still got 50 cards left. Any interesting lands in our graveyard? Myriad Landscape is alright. Couple swamps. Lost a few demons in the... Ooh, Patriarch's Bidding ended up in there. That's not the best. Wanted that one. I still don't want to show... Actually, 3 cards in hand and the blue player's tapped out. Yeah, we're going for it. Alright. It's still going to take a couple turns, but we're going to play the Liliana's Contract right now. Play the Contract. Now we just need to get demons into play. That's all we got to do. Draw 4 cards, lose 4 life, and we will mill 4 because of the Mindcrank. There's an Exsanguinate, Archfiend of Depravity. Currently 2 demons in our hand. We milled Ugin, milled Sensei's Divining Top. Milled some stuff I would have preferred not to have milled. Anything to do right here? 4 total mana. Can't really do much with 4 mana. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Reaper from the Abyss. That's fun. Play a Swamp. We could play the Archfiend of Depravity main phase, but I actually really want to use the Demon of Dark Schemes and get all the energy counters just because I never get to do that. Completely okay discarding some lands to hand size right here. We've seen so many lands this game. I think I forgot to use Liliana. Oops. Yeah, the ultimate would be relevant. That would give us a lot of mana to work with. Manalith coming down. No attacks from the Ulasht opponent. Ooh, do we play stuff right here? The blue player's tapped out, though they haven't really shown that they're playing counter spells. I don't know. We'll let them untap. Opponent's going to go for a Dimir Doppelganger. This might be a good time for the Demon of Dark Schemes when they go to activate that. Yep, opponent's going to try to use the Dimir Doppelganger. We are going to play our Demon of Dark Schemes. So all creatures get -2/-2. Bunch of counters on the Demon of Dark Schemes. Our Runescar Demon will get exiled, though. And right here we're going to follow this up with a Reaper from the Abyss, just so we don't lose the mana. And now we just need to survive back to our turn. And at the end step, fire down this Archfiend of Depravity, and we're going to get the contract win. Reaper from the Abyss trigger on the stack. Shoot the Diluvian Primordial. Play the Archfiend of Depravity. We need to use it. First, we need to use it at Deserted Temple to untap the Cabal Coffers. Whew, I have just enough mana to get all this done. Use the Cabal Coffers. Play the Archfiend. Come on, bring it back to our turn. Bring it back to our turn. Ulasht scoops. Comes back to our turn, and we get the trigger. Do they have a kill spell? They don't. Oh, man. So Liliana's contract win right there. Now, yeah, this game was weird. The one player that was really going to cause a lot of problems at the table was Zada. They disconnected. The Ulasht player looked like they must be new to Commander, because if you're playing a Goblin deck like that, you got to be attacking people, and they weren't doing that, so that just gave us all the time in the world. The play with the Cyclonic Rift, I know they were trying to get Spell Mastery online for our Dark Petition, but Cyclonic Rift doesn't seem like the card worth using on that. It's just too powerful of a card. I mean, if they were just holding up Cyclonic Rift right there, our whole combo falls apart. So... And then beyond all of that, we had Liliana's Contract in our opening hand, so we didn't even have to go dig for it. Granted, we're in mono black, there are a number of tutors, but sometimes you just don't run into them. I do like the fact that you need any 4 creatures out of the deck, other than your mana creatures, and other than that, it's almost like a 1-card combo. Yes, you need the creatures, but it doesn't matter which ones, so it's not too difficult to find any 4 creatures, and then just find the one other card to try to win. Granted, it is an upkeep trigger, so, you know, you have to do the whole survive for a turn thing, but we do have the Dalkin Orrery in there to be able to do everything at the end step to not expose our plans super early. But yeah, so not the most true-to-life game of Commander I've ever seen, based on all the things that I just talked about, so you probably can't get a super good feel of how the deck actually plays off of this. But I saw Liliana's Contract today. I wasn't even aware of it. It's come out so recently, and I haven't really been able to keep up with all the spoilers for all the sets coming out. But anyway, I saw it today, and just being like, wow, that seems like a really cool card. We could build a demon tribal deck with it. And I had been trying to think about what to do with Belzenlok for a while, and I wasn't really sure. This seems like a perfectly reasonable deck for him. It's a demon. You can use any of the legendary demons in the command zone slot. I just chose to go with Belzenlok just because I've been looking for something to do with it, and this seemed like a good fit. So I ended up going that way. I mean, you could play red-black with Rakdos. That's something you could do. But any of the legendary demons would work just fine. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this game. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.